So let's review all that we just covered. Each quarter note you can think of as containing two eighth notes. If I split a quarter note in half, I get two eighth notes. And each eighth note I can think of contains two 16th notes. So there's four 16th notes in the space of every quarter note. Or for most songs, there's a quarter note for a beat, eighth notes, two per beat, and four 16th notes in each beat. As we saw with a couple of things earlier, if I dot a note, it adds 50% to what I'm dotting. So if I have an eighth note that's worth two 16th notes, and I put a dot on that eighth note, now it's worth three 16th notes. So keep that in mind. If the rhythm gets complicated, always break it down to smaller pieces. Look at it one beat at a time. Think about the connection between eighth notes and 16th notes. By all means, take things like ties and slurs out entirely as you're first learning the rhythm, and then fit them in later, okay? When you're looking at where does this beat fall, think about beat beaming groups, and think about how many 16th notes fit into these larger values, and that'll help you kind of move through it sequentially. Speaking of ties, they treat two notes like they're the same note. So figure out what the counting values of both of the notes would be and then combine them together. Say the name of the first one and hold it out for the full value. And if you're writing the counting in, put the second note in parentheses so that way you don't say it when you're supposed to be holding out the first one. The same goes for rests as well. Put the rests in parentheses too so you can think the rhythm but you don't actually say it out loud because for rests we should be silent. I hope that this series of lessons has really helped you out with your rhythm. I find that a lot of people struggle with complex rhythm because they don't break it down into the smaller achievable pieces. If you really look at it as all of these patterns that we just went through, almost every complicated rhythm you're going to find is going to be the result of a couple of very simple patterns just put together. Quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes just put together. So if you can find those smaller patterns, then that should really help you out.